beyond propaganda, exposing the reality of RSF's crimes in Darfur Kundobe and al-Jazira. The Darfur Union in the UK stands in stark opposition to the fabricated narrative of peace and security peddled by the Rapid Support Forces, RSF, in Darfur and al-Jazira. Recent atrocities in Kundobe and Jabel Moun expose a horrific reality that stands in stark contrast to the rosy picture painted by the RSF leadership. A trail of terror from Kundobe, Jabel Moun to Chad, the mass exodus from al-Jazira towards Sinnar. On March 31, 2024, the world witnessed the harrowing testimonies of civilians who fled West Darfur after enduring brutal violence orchestrated by the RSF and their allied Janjaweed militia. These testimonies, predominantly from women and elderly men of the Arenga and Tama tribes, paint a horrifying picture. The RSF's invasion of Kundobe resulted in targeted killings based on ethnicity, followed by the looting of homes and the forced displacement of innocent civilians towards Chad. The exodus from Kundobe reflects a systematic approach employed by the RSF. On the other side of Sudan, a mass exodus from the areas of al-Halawin in al-Jazira state was also implemented by RSF. Systematic terror campaign. The RSF in Darfur, under the command of Abdulrahman Juma Barak Allah and Al-Tahir Karshawam, are not instruments of peace. Their actions speak volumes. Ethnic targeting. The targeted killings of men and young adults based solely on ethnicity are a blatant violation of human rights. Sexual violence as a weapon. Rape and sexual violence are used to terrorize the population. Forced displacement. The forced exodus of civilians from Kundobe towards Chad is a continuation of the RSF's brutal displacement tactics used across Darfur, as well as in Khartoum and in al-Jazira. Demographic engineering. The RSF's actions aim to eradicate the local population and change the demographics of Darfur. These atrocities are part of a systematic approach. Over 1.3 million Sudanese have already sought refuge in East Chad, and the latest influx from Kundobe only highlights the ongoing humanitarian crisis. Urgent call to action. The international community must act now to prevent further catastrophe. Increased humanitarian aid. A massive increase in aid delivered through Port Sudan and Douala Port is crucial to address the dire situation in Darfur and East Chad, where food shortages, lack of medical supplies, and the spread of disease threaten to create a full-blown humanitarian disaster. Targeted sanctions. Imposing targeted sanctions on individuals responsible for the atrocities in Sudan is essential to deter further violence. ICC investigation. We commend ICC prosecutor Karim Khan's visit to East Chad's refugee camps and his call for justice. The ICC needs to expedite investigations and press formal charges against perpetrators. This includes ensuring accountability for RSF leaders like Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, Abdulrahim Hamdan Dagalo, and Abdulrahman Juma Barak Allah. Additionally, support is needed for ongoing ICC cases and pursuing those indicted who remain at large. Omar al-Bashir, Abdulrahim Mohammed Hussein and Ahmed Haroun. Empowering the joint forces. The joint forces established through the Juba Peace Agreement must be strengthened and mandated to protect civilians throughout Sudan. Ceasefire and civilian protection. Pressure must be exerted on all armed groups to cease hostilities, stop artillery attacks on civilian areas, and force the RSF to withdraw from occupied cities, including Al-Fasher, Khartoum, and al-Jazira. The beautiful lie painted by the RSF must be shattered. The international community has a moral obligation to act decisively to stop these war crimes, ensure accountability, and protect the people of Sudan. The time for rhetoric is over. Decisive action is needed now.